what we have covered in our last session. What is branch means? Reference to the last commit. And creating new branch means creating a new copy of the last commit. And each branch we can give a name. And what are the changes you do to the branch, it will not affect it to the other branch copy. If you want, you can merge the branches, you can delete the branches, everything can be done. Okay. So today we are going to work on remote repository. We are going to work on remote repository. Yes, Vishal, do you have any question?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Vishal.
Sir, in my laptop, I'm unable to view the repository, sir.
Unable to view the
Repository.
repository? Yeah, go ahead.
It means you have told me explained about the. In first place, you have explained, sir, about repository. To convert to convert a folder into repository, we have to give command git init.
Perfect.
After converting the folder into repository, when I had gone to the folder, I am unable to view the repository, sir.
.git folder you mean to say?
Yes, sir.
That is actually hidden folder. So what you have to do in Windows, you have to enable the option to view the hidden folder. Then you will see that.
Okay. It means in Windows I have to go to settings and I have to make some changes.
Changes means you just change the settings to show hidden files option. You just right click on the folder. Then I think you have to tell me in Windows how to do it.
Okay.
Right click and show options. Then show hidden files and folders.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Mine is slightly different because I'm using Mac, right? Image folder, sir. That folder should have some content in it. Then only it will help. Replace will happen, right? If the folder name is same, naturally it will replace it. In one branch, that image folder is perfect. You merge it. See, it's like this. You have created a React project. So SRC folder will be created. Public folder will be created. App.some files will be created. Now tell me. Based on this. Okay. Folder name is same or different? Then you have to merge those two things into this. Have you tried that? You have to merge it, otherwise it will not show. No? See, this is the master branch. By default, the name of the branch is master. Then you create a B1 branch. The same a copy will be coming. Extra you have added images 1. Along with these things, image 1 will be shown. You have created another branch. You have created images 2. You have created images 2. Then if you go to this branch, you will see only images 2. If you go to this branch, you will see only images 1 along with these things. If you want these two to be shown, then merge these two things into this. Then you will get all. Got it? Like what? When you both will come. Both should come. Yes. Got it. Now let me show you can understand. I've submitted it. This is the folder. I'm just opening it to Visual Studio Code. First of all, I wanted to check whether this is a repository or not. So how do I do that? I'll say git status. It's saying this is a repository, and this repository has the name of the branch is the Indian place. The name of the branch is Indian place, and app.js and app.css is not committed. First of all, I wanted to identify the list of the branches. Okay. Branch -a. We have SAP players, in South Africa players, Australian players, England players, and Indian players. Right now we are in Indian players branch. Now I just say git about SA players. Now move to SA players. They are saying please commit your changes or scratch them before you switch the branch. Now they are saying you have some uncommitted changes, you cannot switch it. So let me commit it. I will say git add, then git commit -1, done some changes. Okay, then I'll say git check out SA layer. Switch it to branch. Okay, then public are able to see SA players is there. Now I'll say git check out Australia players. It's accepted. See, Australia players you can see. So git check out Indian players. Indian players you can see. Now you wanted to merge everything. Now we are already into Indian. So I'll say git merge SCN. Indian is coming. This is also. Then I'll say git status. Status actually. How many files has been modified there? Unmerged, deleted by them. How many files are there in this seems to be? Have we added and deleted before? That's why it is saying so many files has been added and deleted by them. See, it is showing that. Now say git add dot and git commit name merged. Then if I see here, then I think we have merged India, South Africa in India. Now I wanted to merge Australia into India. Git merge Ask players. Again, git status. These are the changes you have deleted. Some file seems to be. So again, git add dot git commit. Take the new. So you can see all the whatever. And today we are going to work on remote repository, and we are going to work on clone, push, pull, and git ignore. These are the things we are going to work on. To start with the git ignore. What exactly git ignore? Any idea? What is git ignore? Normally, repository means trackable folder. If you create any file, initially it will show that is untracked. We can add that into repository. That means it will start tracking. There are certain files which you don't want it to track. Then you mention it in git ignore. Those files will not be tracked. Whenever you create a React project, automatically git ignore file is created. Are you able to see git ignore file? And if you see here in git ignore file, they are actually created. Are you able to see node underscore modules? That means node underscore modules, they are ignoring it. Whatever the changes that happens in node underscore module, they are not bothering about that. That is a folder. And they are ignoring the build also. Build folder. And they are ignoring the DS store file. That is system file. Now, just to give you an example, here what I will do in SRC, I'll create a file .js and RFCE. Just give it. I've created the component. It's a JavaScript file, basically component. Now are able to see U. U means what? Untracked. Now if I say git add, it will start tracking that also. I don't want it to track that file. So what I will do, I'll come to git ignore file and I'll say dot I'll write this. Now see what happens. Now see U is gone. That means it will not track that file now. Whether I do changes, I delete it, modify it, it will just ignore. Understanding? That is what actually ignore file means. You can ignore files, you can ignore folders. If it is folder, you have to specify the path like / build folder is ignoring. Now you generate the build. After that, you will modify something. Again, you generate the build. Some changes will happen, right? You just wanted to ignore that. So you can use that build folder or node underscore modules folder. By default, they will be giving you few. If you want, you can add your own also. Now, what are the changes I do in .js? That just doesn't bother. Got it? Clear? What is git ignore? And next, we are going to work on this remote repository. What is repository? We know. What is remote repository? There are two types of repositories. There are two types of repositories: local repository and remote repository. Local repository and remote repository. Repository is a repository. What is local and remote? What is local and remote? So local repository means it's a repository, it's a trackable folder, but only you have access, that's it. Remote repository means this is also a trackable folder, but multiple people can access. Now, if I create a repository in GitHub, for example, I can create it in GitHub or I can create it in Bitbucket or GitLab. Multiple websites are there where you can create Git repositories. If I create a repository in GitHub, that is called as remote repository. Multiple people can access it. You have to give permissions. Multiple people can access it. Now, what you can do, you can create a copy of that remote repository into your system to do changes. That is called as local repository. Only you can access. Yesterday, what we have created is local repository, and only you can access. Now, what I wanted to do, I wanted to create a React project where multiple people can access it, can do their own changes. Now, yesterday I have created the repository while working on branches. The people yesterday have created repository while introducing Git. These two repositories are local repositories, that means only I can access it. So create a remote repository. Anyone in the world can access it if you give permission. Right? Now, there are certain specific websites which give free services for these things, and GitHub is one of the popular in that. GitHub is one of the popular in this. That is one of the popular. Now, let us see how to do that. Now, what I wanted to do, I'll go to GitHub website. I'll create a repository in GitHub. I'm not creating the repository in my local system. I'm creating the repository in GitHub. Then, whoever wanted to, now as per our discussion, 16 people also can work on the same project, right? So, what I'll do, I'll create a repository in GitHub and I'll give access to all the 16 people. All the 16 people can clone that remote repository. Clone means what? Creating a copy. So now imagine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people I have given access. So developer 1, developer 2, developer 3, developer 4, developer 5. Now I have created a repository in GitHub. I'll give access to 5 team members. What these people do, these people will make a clone. Clone means creating a copy. So when he clones, it becomes he'll have a local repository in his system. He will have a local repository. 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 That means what? Basically, total 6 repositories now. 1 remote repository, 5 local repositories. Now this D1 will do all his changes. This D2 will do all his changes. Everyone will do their own changes. After doing the changes, what they do? Naturally, they will add to staging. Then they will commit it. Then the local repository is updated. Then they will say push. What? Push. Push means local repository to remote repository. Now all his changes will be updated into remote repository. D2 also will do all the changes, add to staging, commit. That means local repository is up to date. Then he will say push. Passes to remote repository. Likewise, passes to remote repository, passes to remote repository, passes to remote repository. Now all the 5 developers added the changes to staging, then committed it, then pushed it. All the changes has been passed to remote repository. Now, what I will do, lead in this case, what lead will do, he will say pull. What? Pull. Pull means what? Remote repository to local repository. Push means local to remote. Pull means remote to local. Now, what I will tell Arya, dear team, we have a demo today evening. I'll say, please commit and push your changes. What are the changes they have done? They will add it to staging. They'll commit it and push it. Everything will be updated into remote repository. Then I'll say pull from remote repository. Everything I'll be getting to the local repository. Then I can run the project and I can check. Then I'll see D3 made some changes. D3 has made some mistake. Now I'll make a call to D3 and said, D3 developer 3, you have done the changes, please correct it. So again he will do the changes. Then he will again add to staging. Then commit it and push it. Remote repository will be updated. Then he will make a call to me, dear Manjunath, I have done the changes. Then I will pull from remote repository, it comes to my system. Understanding what I'm saying? That is how it works. Now D1 has D1's code only, but if we say pull, everyone's code he will be getting it. Understanding? Whoever pulls, whatever is there in the remote repository, we can get. So push, pull, clone. Understood the concept? Now let us try this. Now what I will do? I will create a remote repository first. I will go to github.com and say sign in. Okay. Now, are able to see here on the left hand side? There are so many repositories we have already. Yes or no? Now, if I click on show more, these are the repositories I have created already earlier. Now, I wanted to create a new repository. I am clicking on new. Repository name, I'll say rep 2211. I'm giving a name rep 2211. Repository is nothing but a trackable folder. So I have created it. Now public or private. Public means anyone on the internet can see this repository. You choose who can commit it. That means everyone can see it, but not everyone can commit it. Private means you choose who can see and commit to the repository. If you create a repository, anyone in the world can access it, but they cannot do the changes by committing it. Public means. Private means they cannot see, they cannot commit. Now if I now I am creating a just dummy repository, so anyone in the world can access it, not a big deal. But if I am working on some secret application, then it should be private or public? Private. But private has certain limitations. Hardly 3 people you can give access. More than 3 people or 5 people you cannot give access. Got your point? You cannot means normally free version. If you use a paid version, you can. Okay. Now I am just creating public. Now public I am creating it. Add readme file, add git ignore and all those things. I am not selecting any of those options. Please don't select any of these options. I'll say create repository. Now yesterday and day before yesterday, we have created repositories in our local system. Now we have created repositories in remote. Now see, a repository has been created, and this is the URL of the repository. This is the URL of the repository. Now what I will do, there is nothing in it actually. We have created a repository. Repository is nothing but empty folder. That's it. And I am copying it. Now I wanted to clone it. I wanted to clone it. So what I will do, I'll come to here. Say version control. Here I wanted to clone it. So I'll use the command. Now what I will do, I'll just come to this folder. Now what I will do, I'll say git. I'll say git clone and the URL I'm giving. We have the remote repository, right? We are creating a clone. Clone means copy. Copy of remote repository in my system. Enter. Now you are able to see rep2211 we got it. Now this is a repository actually, but of course nothing is there in it. Now I'll go to this rep2211. Are able to see the git file, git folder here, hidden folder. So rep2211 is a repository now, but nothing in it. Only trackable files are there. That's it. Only git folder is there, nothing in it. Now what I wanted to do, I'll go to cd rep2211. I have entered into that folder. Then I'll say npx create react. Yeah. I'm just creating it. Now I am creating a project. Project into this repository. Can we first then again see, if you create a project first, that will be a repository. No? Now what you want? You want that remote repository to be local, or you wanted to create a local repository in your system? You wanted to create a new repository. See, creating a new project itself is nothing but creating a repository. No? So you already have a global repository. You want that copy, right? I'm just doing like this. There is no rule that you must do like this only. What I can do, I can create a normal folder, normal React project, and remove the Git folder in it. That becomes a normal thing. Got my point? Multiple ways you can do it. So now I have rep2211, which is a repository. Then in that I am creating a React project. So that means our local repository is doing some changes. Our local repository doing some changes. Then I can add to staging, commit it, and push it. Push means it will go there. We can do reverse also. That means you create a local repository, then you create a global repository, remote repository, then this you give there. That also possible. That is a bit more steps you have to do. For local repository, you have to tell where is the remote repository. Got a point? The extra comments you have to learn it. So simple. You just create the remote repository. Just create a copy of it. Now, because it is the copy, the local repository knows where is the remote repository, because from there on it came now. So whenever you say push, it automatically takes you there. Now the project is almost created. Now our remote repository doesn't have anything, but our local repository has project. Now what I will do, I will say add to staging, commit, push, and everything will be uploaded to remote repository. And I don't want it to upload this node underscore modules. Anyway, we have mentioned it in git ignore. Got a point? So now what I will do, now our local repository, now we have two repositories. One is a remote repository, another is local repository. This is a remote repository. We have local repository. This is a copy of this. Now we have created a copy into our local system. Now here we have done some changes. Now I want to push it. Clone is different, push is different. Clone means creating a copy of the repository. Push means sending the changes to the server, to the remote repository. Pull means getting the changes from the remote repository. Now what I will do, I will say git push. Now see what happens. Error failed to push some reps. Okay, now let me first of all I'll say git add git status. Now they are saying my app is untracked file. Now I'll say git add dot added staging git commit Self-name new project created. Done. Committed it. Now I'll say git status on branch main. Are you able to see main? If it is local repository, it is master, it is creating. What is the new standard? Main. So normally, by chance, if you are uploading your local repository to remote repository, make sure you have to change the branch name from master to main. Otherwise, main branch will be there, master branch also will be there, if you don't want it. Now I'll say git push. Now see what happens. It is pushing all the files. Basically, it pushed all the files. How come so fast? because we are not pushing node underscore modules. Node underscore modules are around 200 plus MB. It will take a lot of time. We don't want node underscore modules. We have mentioned it in git ignore. Automatically it will be. Only remaining files. Now I'll come to the remote repository. Now I'll refresh it. I will refresh it. Now, my app is there or not? New project created now 1 minute ago. I click on this my app. Now see SRC public SRC. Where is node modules? We have ignored it. SRC app.js. All are there. Understood what is push? First remote repository we have created. Then we have cloned it into local repository. Then we have done the changes. Then add it to staging, commit it, and push it. Commit means updating the local repository. Push means sending it to remote repository. Now, in what I will do in app.js, src app.js. In app.js, what I will do, I just remove all the stuff. And I say, one. This line is added from local repository. Got a point? Now I'll say git status. Naturally they are saying app.js is modified. Git add dot git commit -m added committed it. Then I'll say git created. Now I'll come here. Now I'll just refresh this page. Now this line is added from below. Understood what is clone? Pull means remote to local. See, first now 5 team normally what happens? Imagine 5 team members are there. As I have shown earlier, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 team members are there. 1 lead. Now all these 5 team members are part of a project. First, what this lead will do? He'll create a remote repository. Then clones it into his system. Then add the project into the local repository. Add to staging. Then commit. Then push. Now the project will be added into remote repository. Then what he will do? He will add permissions to all these 5 people. He will add permissions to all these 5 people. I will show you how to add permissions. Once he adds those permissions to all these 5 people, he will share that URL, remote repository URL. Now all the 5 people will clone. So the same copy of the project will come into each system. They will start working on it. They will do their own changes. Now we have total 6 repositories. 5 local repositories, 1 remote repository. Then these people will do the changes. Then they will push. They will push it. Push means changes from local to remote. Now, once everything is pushed, now this lead will pull. Pull means remote to local. Push means local to remote. Pull means remote to local. Now lead wants to get get the latest from the remote, so I'll pull it. Now lead has done some changes. These people will pull it. These people will be getting the changes. Understanding? Now, what we'll do? Now, I wanted to do some changes. Now, this is actually repository, right? Remote repository. I can do some changes here also. Now here, I am doing some changes. Say, this line is added from, and is added by other developer from another system. That means what? Another developer done some changes, committed and pushed it. It will come here only. Yes or no? Now here I'll say updated commit added second heading commit changes. Now we have done some changes into the remote repository. That changes usually by other developers whenever they pushed it will be into remote repository. Then what I will do here, I will say git. What I have to do to get the changes? Git. Whenever I say git. Now as of now in app.js we don't have any second heading. I say git pull. Now got it. I got that second heading also. So now 20 people are there in your batch, for example. I can create a repository, put it into, I can create a repository in GitHub and give access to all the 20. Why I have to give access? Normally all the 20 people can clone it, but they cannot commit it. If I give access to all the 20 people, they can clone it, do the changes and commit and push also. If you commit only, then you can push. Commit and push, then I can get it. If I pull it, I can get it. Understanding what I'm saying? Then how do I give permissions? Now this is the repository. I'll go to settings. Then here are collaborators. I click on these collaborators. Then we haven't invited any collaborators yet. I'm saying add people. Now anyone has remember your Git IDs? GitHub ID? Sai Prakash 9 1994. Invite collaborator. Let's say add Prakash to this repository. Now Sai Prakash will get the invitation in email. Now it will show pending. You just open your mail. You will be getting an email. Got it? You accept it. GitHub ID. Then that only we have to give. It's showing anything? Just give me. Now view invitation is there. They are saying you can accept or decline this invitation. You can also get over. we have a button accept or decline. You click on that accept or decline. You haven't signed in. You have to sign in and enter your credentials. Once you get the invitation, it will be showing. Once you get the invitation, now I'll do one more. I think I don't have. I cannot invite myself. That's what. If I send an invitation without I add you as a collaborator, still you can clone it. You can do the changes, but you cannot push it. Commit you can do locally, but you cannot push it to the remote repository. But if I add you as a collaborator, you can commit and push that. Now here it is showing pending invite. Now I will just refresh it. Now see, it is showing it as collaborator. Now Sai Prakash can clone the repository, do the changes, commit into local repository and push it. It will be coming here. Understanding? Complicated? So I want you to try this remote repository, how it works. Understanding? What you can do, you just give me your what do you say? GitHub IDs. I'll be adding it to this repository. Then you can add your own changes, or you create your own repository. If you have someone of your friends account, you just add as a collaborator and try. Anything is fine. Understood? Now we cannot try straight away. The reason is people who are okay. You have laptop, you have GitHub account. Can you try now? People who are attending online also can try if you want. If you wanted to try straight away, send me your GitHub ID. You try. Dheeraj, add Dheeraj. Dheeraj 60 08. I'm adding Dheeraj. People who wanted to send, they can send me in chat window. I got it. Screen is not clearly visible. Guys, can you see it now? No, they have given actually message blur is coming. Screen is not clearly visible. Can you open it in your mobile and check whether it is clear now or not? In the meanwhile, I'll be adding this. Rather. So what we can do, we have already created the repository. You can add your name in that heading. I have created 2 headings, right? You clone it. What? Blur, Only that or no? Then you can clone it. Like this is the normal quality or what? Automatic. No, normally every time it shows like this or it will show different. That means it is working fine or not? Okay, otherwise do you need phone now? So whoever has a now Radha have added Vishal. So you do the changes by cloning it like that. It's not don't directly go to GitHub website or GitHub app and don't do the changes there. That's you cannot learn that. Got the point? In your system, clone the repository, then do the changes, then add to staging, commit, push. And remember one important point. If you wanted to pull, you have to push first. No. If you wanted to push, you have to pull first. Imagine I have not pushed from past 20 days. In 20 days, so many developers has changed so many things and committed into the remote repository. Now, if I push, you cannot upload it because remote repository version is different. So, if you wanted to push it, you have to pull first. Then, if there are any conflicts, correct it. Then push it. Got your point? Friend, it's email ID రాలేదు. James Bond. I'm adding me 007. That's it. This one. No. Git ID is like Git ID we need. I think you should have account already. I told you at the starting, at the time of Netlify, I told you to create Git account. This purpose only I have told you. Push this out. Now, friend Sai Prakash has pushed it. Let us see whether it is reflecting here or not. Now I am coming to this repository. Now total it is showing 4 minutes and added my name 1 minute ago. If I click on this commit, this is like a git log. Sai Prakash committed 1 minute ago. Now I'll come to my system and say git you have added Sai Prakash, you have removed everything and added that. Fine, no problem. Got it? So I want you to try these things. So collaborative, this is basically why they call it as collaborators means people can work parallelly. Now Sai Prakash also can work on app.js. Even I can work on app.js. Anil can work on app.js. Everyone can work on app.js. Everyone will commit and push it. And this repository will automatically merge everything. By chance, if there is any conflict, it will tell us there is a conflict. We have to correct that and we have to re-push it again. Got a point? Yes. First git, clone, then URL. Repository is created. Why again repository again? Yes. Repository, getting the repository is one-time activity. You wanted to construct a house. How many times you purchase the land? One time only. Then if you wanted to do any changes within the same land only, you will do it. Yes. Normally what happens, imagine you completed the course, applied for interviews, got the job and joined in the company. Then once you join it, what they do, they will be creating an email ID for you. And they will be assigning you in a project. And they will be adding you as a collaborator to that project. Project is nothing but a repository there. Then you can clone that. You will get all the code till date. Then you do your own changes and commit. And if you say, I have 3 years experience and I don't know what is Git. Like nowadays everyone works with version controller only. You say 3 years experience and you say you don't know Git, you cannot handle it. Got a point? It's like you are saying I have worked as a taxi driver for 3 years and I don't know driving. How will it be? It's like that. Got it? Anyone else added? Now I'll just refresh it. I think that's it. No other changes. Okay. These are commit IDs. And remember, are able to see the branch name? The default branch name. In local repository, if we create a repository locally, the default branch name is master. 2 ways you can do it. Create the remote repository and clone it to local repository is one way, or create a remote repository, create a local repository, then link these two. That is another way. Which is better? First one is better and easier also. If you create a local repository separate, you can create a remote repository separate. Then you have to link both also. There is separate commands, git origin. You have to specify in the local repository. You have to specify where is the remote repository. Then only you can push it. And local repository is master branch name. Remote repository is main. You have to change the master as main. Rename the branch name. Otherwise, the main also will be there, master also will be there. Confusion. That's why the simplest way is create the remote repository first, clone it, and start using it. Now Sai Prakash were able to commit his changes because I have added him as a collaborator. If I didn't add him as a collaborator, he can only clone it. He cannot push it. Commit also can be done in his local version, but he cannot push it. Hmm. Hmm. Now, okay. The question is, imagine we have a remote repository. Pranit is working on one of the modules. Prakash is working on one of the modules. Right? Now, Pranit, he will do his changes and he will push it. Prakash, he will do his changes, he will push it. Now, while once you pushed it, it will automatically merge everything. Now, both are working on app.js, for example. It will be merged automatically. But sometimes there might be a conflict. Yesterday we have seen, right, conflicts happen. That happens like that. Then it will tell you there is a conflict. Then you have to overcome that conflict, correct that code, then push it again. Got a point? So that's what. For example, if Pranit wanted to push it, what he has to do? First, he has to pull. Once he pulls it, if there are any conflicts, then correct it, then add to staging, commit and push. Then if Prakash wanted to push, he will pull that first. Then add the changes, add it to staging, commit it and push. It is mandatory to pull before pushing. Why you have to pull? Because the latest you will be getting it. Then you adopt that latest into your project, then it will be like that. Okay. Now I want you to try this, and we have one more session left on this. We have something called stash. We have something called reset, and how to upload. Like we have Netlify is there, right? There is like Netlify. We have one more is there. We will be trying that. There is a website called .hsh. So this is like Netlify, where we can upload our work directly from repository. This will be working on it. Cyclic.sh. So if you don't have account, you just create account with cyclic.sh website. I'll be telling you how to do that. We have a continuous integration. CI means continuous integration. We'll be working on that as well. Okay. Understood the concept of remote repository. Now, remote repository, Pranit can access, Dheeraj can access, Prakash can access, Ankit can access, Anil can access, Radha can access, Nagalakshmi can access. Anyone, wherever I have given permissions, they can access. Multiple people. Now, imagine you are the team members, all of you can access it at the same time. Do their changes and push. Okay. I want you to try it. We have worked on remote repository, clone, push,